Thank you very much for having this conversation with me. First of all, today I spoke as an academic, a student who's studying the discipline of geography, and who has studied archaeology as well, and as a student leader, a black woman student leader. Now, I went off from unpacking what we are currently facing as students, issues around gender, race, and class, and relating them to the different student movements that have come about, from Rhodes Must Fall to Open Stellenbosch to Fees Must Fall, to the Sjambok movement of the reference list at Rhodes University against rape, to young children, young girls at Pretoria High School for Girls raising issues around race, and now we find ourselves again on issues of access to higher education through Fees Must Fall. So when you look at all these movements and what they speak to issues around class, race, and gender. And when students articulate what they're currently fighting for, they articulate it as a decolonized and intersectional, free, quality, and equal education, right? So basically, they want an education that's decolonized, one that is not Eurocentric or Westernized, and truly represents and embodies what it means to be an African scholar. And then they want it to be intersectional, which means they don't want it to be ageist in its approach. They don't want it to be binary in terms of gender in its approach. They want it to be inclusive of all the genders that are within the space, right? So we don't want a patriarchal education or academic space either, meaning we want more representation of black women academics, not black women as staff and administrative support staff only, right? But them actually teaching the curricula and teaching a curricula that we are accepting as young black people or as young South Africans in general. Now, that will mean that we need to ensure that the amount of young black women that are going into postgraduate studies increases so that they can eventually then become the ones who are teaching us. So then we say we want it free. Now, it being free, we mean we want it to fee free. We don't want people to be barred from having access to this particular knowledge and the space because of finances. We want it to be of quality, right? And the issue of quality needs to be debated also at criticizing or critiquing those who set the criteria and those who create the benchmark, the benchmarking systems. Who are they? Who is telling us that Wits University is number one in South Africa and this university is number what in the world? Who is setting those criteria? So even in saying it is quality education, it needs to be quality in respect of what we believe is quality education. And it needs to be equal. We need a democratic education, one that everyone can have equal access to. When we are in the space, we shouldn't be facing the sort of class divides that we are currently facing right now. And that is why many students reject the idea of having those that pay and those that don't pay directly to the institution. They are saying we need to find a way through tax and so forth to have those who can afford to pay still, right? And that's by increasing their tax. So don't create a class divide within the institution and within the students. Implement those particular corrective measures outside of the institution so that when we engage as students, we don't engage as those needy students and those students that have, but we engage as a whole what's called an undivided student body. Right, that is why we'll contest issues of certain residences that have more facilities than others merely because it costs more than the other, because that's a class divide, right? I should be able to go to any res in my institution and have equal access to whatever facilities that as any other student in the institution. So we're trying to do away with those class divides. Revolutions have always been led by young people. And young people will be the ones who say, we want these people, these pedagogues, and these ones who specify in these particular fields to come and assist us in achieving ABC. So we will lead the conversation, and we will go and reach out to those that have a better knowledge than we do to assist us. But at the end of the day, young people have never been too young to lead.